today we'll learn how text, basic text, in which and types, the data types of to output text, it's use print syntax. Then what you do, for example, hello world. Now if I run this in the terminal, it will show hello world like this. Can you see? Now with this same method, you can do other things like operation. That's your basic addition, subtraction, division of numbers. For example, now if I were to divide, let's say 4 divided, use print. I will use print. Then into this time around I won't use anytime you use, because anytime you use number, you don't use the integers and integers, and you don't use. So now type then forward to the terminal, telling the terminal by 2 divided by 2. Now it will bring, to run it will bring out my, as you can see, 2.0. So now you can also do other operations like print, then into brackets 2 plus 2. Can you see? Your answer is multiplication. Also do multiplication using the asterisk. So for example, can you see 4. Now a little bit size for printing. So now we all know things like 1 and 12, then whole numbers, those are integers in Python. Then floats are decimals in Python. Any number that has a decimal is a float in Python. Then for your string is text, word, any letter is classified as a string. In Python, a string, multiply a string by an integer. That means I can say print then you can say print fish 3 times 3. Now code, to run this code, it should output fish and fish 3 times. Meaning, can you see? It will output 3 fish and fish 3 times. You can multiply by a string, by an integer string. So you can't add a string to an integer. You can only add integers and integers, but you can't add string. You can't add integer. You cannot multiply integer by string. So you multiply string by integer. Let's try multiply to adding strings and see. So now if I were to run this code, it will bring out fishes of fish, combination of fish and fish. As you can see, fishes. So now you cannot multiply by a string error to bring out error. For example, as you can see, it brought out an error. So now let's try something a little bit complex. So now something complex like raising 2 to the power of 3. To raise 2 to the power, you use to the power of 2 to the power of 3. you use for asterisks. For example, power 3 raised to power 3 for x, like 2 asterisks like this. So if you run out raised to power 2 raised to power 3 are there, so our hands are there. Can you see? 8. Now, of the types of division in there's normal floor division and there's the remainder division. You see the floor division that will output the highest whole number. Then for the other one, it will output remainder. That's the highest remainder. For example, if I were to divide by 20 by 3 by 3. Can you see 20 by 3? Can you see my answer is 6? That's 6. That means going in 20 6 times. Now, if I were to use the other one, that would be double slash. Brought out, see, it brought out 6. So all about division and multiplication and outputting in Python. Now move variable and taking input. If I were to declare, I will type the name of the variable. My variable, say the name of my variable is boy, or let's say name my variable is the name of my variable. Then I'll do name equals divide. For example, divide string. Variable is a string, so I'll Tolu. Then this. Now, if I were to output the value of that variable, all I'll do is int, then into brackets. Two brackets, then name, that's my variable. Can you see Tolu? What out Tolu? Now I use double quotes the variable as Tolu, because Tolu is a word, that's a string. We use double quotes for strings. Now if I were to input a number, for example, let's say the value of my variable Tolu, my variable name is equals to 13. I don't use double quotes, I'll just type the 13 there direct. As soon as I run my 13, output 13. You see 13 for float, applies for float. Now we could do in Lapu, for example, add two variables together. In Python, to add to a variable, use the number. Either you use the normal local, going to your terminal and typing name plus, let's say name plus name plus 1. Now if I were to run this, it should bring out 14. Now the method aside from this is just coming under the variable and name plus. I think I'm somewhere. Let me see. Well, this for now, just leave this for now, and I'll move to something else. So let's do taking user input. To take user input, you use the input syntax, which is this. You come here, then you say inputs into brackets. Not inputs, not input. Bracket, you into the bracket you put, I'm taking prompt the user, so this will prompt the user to enter his name. For example, your name. Now if I were to run this, to enter my name. Can you see? So as soon as I enter my name, for example Tolu, and I enter, it will out, because we declared of the variable value of the variable name to user collect what the user collected, then we input, then we out name the variable name. Now addition, let's try addition of variables and addition of user input. Now let's do something a little complex. For example, now program, I'll create a program to the username for the username. Ask for the username. After asking for the username and age, it will add them together in a sentence saying your name is and your age is. So now to do that, I'll declare another variable called age. Then after the variable called age with the input method, I'll come down, I'll output the value, double quotes with a string. If I'm going to put a string in front of it, say your name is, then plus name, then I'll go here again, plus, then double quotes again, and your age is, then and put me again and put plus age. Now we have to collect, it will collect the name and the age user and the age of the user in a text. I'll put it in a text saying name is the user and your age is so the user. So now let's run that. Enter your name, my Tolu. I am, let's say, 10 years old. Can you see? Your name is Tolu and your age is 10. The reason why there is no space between that Tolu and is because I didn't put space here, the and here. If I put a space there, the and there, and I run it again, it's the same thing. So to enter your name, Tolu, age, enter your age 10. Can you see? Your name Tolu and your age is 10. So now let's try doing a simple calculator in Python. That means we'll do a program that will collect two numbers from the user and then it will add them together or multiply them. So now to do that, all I'll say is enter number, first number, number, then number, second number, so now I'll change the name of the variables to n1 and n2. So now output the addition of both numbers. This what I'll do is this: print n1 plus n2 n2. Now if I run this to take two the user values from the user, number 1 for my first 4 I say 4, and my second 8 I say 8. If we add both of them together, the answer here is 48. Okay, I made a mistake. I'm actually adding them as a string, not. So what I'll do is this: I'll convert it from a string integer to integer. Convert to string from integer. You use syntax int, then open a bracket. Then int in bracket again. You want to the value you want to convert as integer. So now my first number will be 4. My first number will be 4. My second number will be 8. And answer is true. My answer is 12. It was showing 4, it was showing 48. It showed 48 because our string, the two are strings. Converted. Now that I've converted it to showing them integer. So the same thing applies to multiplication. You must always integers tree, and when necessary, and string when necessary, depending on what your code is. For example, now I can decide to declare my variable n1 as a string, for example, or let's say an integer that is declared as a string. Any number in any quotes is in double quotes will be automatically as a string automatically. Python string it as a string. So say my n1 equals to 1. Let's just say string 1. My n2 and my n2 will be, let's say, string another string 3. Now if I were to run the way it is like this, it will output 4. It's converted because it has converted it from string to integer. So now let me run it. See, as you can see, the answer is 4. Yeah, it's 4. So now let's stop the conversion of it from string to integer by removing syntax. Let me remove second two. So now if I run it, as you can see, it brought out the because now it's adding in the string. So you can other operations like multiplication and division. You can also complex operations dividing and adding. That's it will follow for example. For example, if I were to add times print 2 plus 4 times 3 2 plus times 3. Now if it will bring code, it will bring out 14. It's added first, multiplied first before adding your normal body. That's your normal body mass and multiplication. Multiplication comes. So now operation, perform other operations, perhaps divide, then exponential, raising one power to the power, like that, and things like that. So that will be all for today. And go